If you run a business in India, textiles, leather, engineering, IT, stop scrolling. Because India just signed a trade deal that is directly, personally in your lane. India and New Zealand just finalized a free trade agreement. And here is the headline number you need to know. Starting April 27th, 2026, every single Indian export entering New Zealand gets 100% duty-free access. Zero tariffs. Across all product categories. Textiles, leather goods, footwear, engineering components. All of it walks through New Zealand customs without paying a single dollar in import tax. Think of it like a mall that used to slap Indian shopkeepers with a hefty entry fee suddenly throwing the doors wide open, completely free. Your products instantly become cheaper for New Zealand buyers, which means your prices become more competitive, overnight, without you changing a single thing. Now, nothing in trade is ever one-sided, so what did India put on the table? India opened up 70% of its tariff lines to New Zealand, covering 95% of the total trade value flowing between the two countries. That is a significant opening. But here is the smart part. India ring-fenced its most sensitive sectors. Dairy, sugar, onions, almonds, all excluded. So domestic players in those categories stay protected. And beyond the tariffs, New Zealand has committed a massive $20 billion in investment over the next 15 years. That is roughly 1,67,000 crore rupees. Flowing into Indian agriculture, infrastructure, manufacturing, and technology. Jobs, supply chains, entire new business ecosystems. Oh, and there is a rebalancing clause built in. Meaning if the deal starts hurting one side disproportionately, both countries can renegotiate. That is a safety net most trade deals simply do not offer. Big wins for exporters, guardrails for the vulnerable. That is the architecture of this deal. But knowing the deal exists is only half the story. Who actually benefits? And how do you position yourself to be one of them? That is exactly what we are getting into next. So the deal exists. Great. But who actually makes money from it? Let's get specific. Because the winners here are very real. And so are the pressure points. If you're a textile or leather manufacturer, say running a unit in Tamil Nadu or exporting chemicals and plastics out of Gujarat, you just got a free pass into the New Zealand market. Zero tariffs. That means your pricing is now sharper than competitors from countries still paying duties at the border. Think about it this way. On a 50 lakh rupees leather export, even a 10 to 12% tariff removal puts 5 to 6 lakh rupees straight back in your pocket. Money you can reinvest or use to undercut rivals and win more orders. That's not a rounding error. That's a real edge. Then there's the services side. Indian IT firms and healthcare providers get 5,000 T visas per year. That's temporary entry for executives and employees. A dedicated fast track to work and operate in New Zealand without the usual visa nightmare. If you've ever lost a client deal because your team simply couldn't get on the ground in time, this fixes exactly that. Firms can now set up New Zealand operations, bill in New Zealand dollars, and build a genuine foreign income stream. And here's something genuinely new. I wish practitioners and wellness startups get their own dedicated chapter in this agreement, a first for any Indian FTA. Traditional medicine exports, medical value tourism. Real doors opening. But not everyone's popping champagne. Apple growers in Himachal Pradesh, kiwi fruit farmers, honey producers. They're looking at New Zealand imports arriving at reduced tariffs and potentially undercutting local prices. And small manufacturers who can't meet New Zealand's compliance and quality standards. The open door is there, but walking through it means investing in certifications and upgrades. And that's now the price of entry, not a nice to have. So the opportunity is real. But so is the homework. Next, let's look at what this means for the bigger investment and strategic picture. But here's the part most business owners completely miss. It's not just about tariffs. It's about speed. And in business, speed is money. The deal locks in customs clearance within 48 hours for standard cargo, and just 24 hours for perishables, all through a paperless single window system. One digital portal, all your documents, done. No running between government offices. Think of it like an express checkout lane at a packed supermarket. Your goods don't just sit in a warehouse bleeding storage costs and spoiling. For a spice or processed food exporter, cutting clearance from 5 to 7 days down to 24 hours. That's working capital you were basically lending to a warehouse for free. Now back in your pocket, faster. Then there's the bigger picture. That $20 billion New Zealand investment pipeline over 15 years isn't just a headline flex. It means New Zealand businesses will actively be hunting for Indian partners in agriculture, infrastructure, manufacturing. Procurement deals, joint ventures, technology tie-ups. Real opportunities for MSMEs who show up early. And the rebalancing clause means both governments stay accountable if things tilt too far. So this isn't a one-and-done handshake, it's a living agreement. The door opens April 27, 2026. Roughly 12 months from now. Get your export documentation sorted, explore your New Zealand market entry, track the T visa process if you're in services. The deal is done. The only real question left is, will you be ready to walk through when it opens? Follow us for more updates like this. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and X.